Hi, my name is Nolan Berger. I'm an intensive case manager at Mental Health America of Dutchess County. Basically, we're a single point of contact and we help people manage and enrich their life. We meet people where they're at. We assess people what their needs are, and we devise a personalized service plan, as we call it, to kind of address those needs. It can take the form of many and various different connections to services. Maybe somebody needs a doctor, a mental health provider, a roof over their head, or food in their bellies. And we got to try to connect them to each and every one of them.
How does your department collaborate with other parts of MHA?
Yeah, I mean, we collaborate with every other part of MHA and including other departments in the community. We have people who are employed with different police departments in our ECHO program, and they'll go out on police calls with people. Upstairs, we have community services for family and children and also for our adult clients. So oftentimes we have to communicate with people in various different parts, including vet programs. We have recovery services. We even have like our own pros buildings. So those are day programs for adults to be able to go to and take classes to learn more about mental health, handling addiction, and what other what ifs that go on in their life. There are many different services that we provide here in terms of support groups, even for various people going through maybe bipolar or troublesome adolescence or various things.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ann. I'm a case manager at Mental Health America of Dutchess County.
Can you describe the mission of the case management department?
So the mission for case management is to provide broad-based, all across the spectrum services for clients with integrity, compassion, and dignity. It's really important for our clients to have somebody that they can trust because you can't really heal if you can't trust the person you're working with. And it's important to make sure that they maintain their autonomy and are treated with respect and compassion throughout their time with us.
Hi, my name's Laura, and I'm an intensive care manager here at Mental Health America, Dutchess County.
If you could share one message with the community about your work, what would it be?
I think that we're here for everybody in the community, not just people that are experiencing mental health issues. So we're here for families that are dealing with difficulties. We're here for the veterans who are trying to adjust to being back in the community. And we're here for people who are dealing with substance abuse issues and people who are dealing with a number of chronic health issues. So really, any combination of those or just those in themselves are very challenging. So we're trying to wrap around individuals and try to have them know that they're supported and that there is a safe place for them to really open up and share what they need help with. And we can go forward and develop a plan that's specific to their needs, that is person-centered. Just begin the work with them, no matter how long that takes. It could just even be years that we work with somebody as we continue to go forward with what they want to do. And so that they have the best quality of life and they have the best outcome and they're just feeling like perhaps they even have a new life that they can start.
What makes your team's work unique or especially meaningful within the organization?
We're pretty unique in the sense that we go directly and meet people where they're at. One of the things that we like to say is we wear many hats. So we're unique in the sense that we can develop like personalized relationships with our clients. And then we might have to literally go into doctor's appointments with them to make sure that the medications are all right and that they're being streamlined between their primary care physician and their psychiatrist. It can be very unique and meaningful in the sense of actually going into Social Security, filling out the applications with them, sitting with them, going through different applications and screenings for housings and so many things. We're so hands-on. We can even be a transportation provider that's understanding and patient with your inability to get out of the house in time because you have so much anxiety about just leaving. There's a lot of unique and meaningful ways that case management is able to connect with people in the community that other providers can't.
What are some of the biggest challenges your team helps clients overcome?
We're meeting our clients in all different walks of life. So we're meeting them at their lowest points, sometimes their highest points. And I think a challenge would be just making sure that they're able to be connected to services, making sure they're staying engaged with services. It's really hard if they feel that they don't have the support or that other providers aren't supporting them. So it's important for us to make sure we're advocating and linking them and getting them the help they need. And they know that they have somebody there that cares about them.
How does MHA Dutchess Care Management support the community beyond traditional mental health services?
We really do so many outreaches in the community. We have festivals, we have all sorts of other agencies that we collaborate with. So there's a lot of interconnecting in the community beyond just the normal scope of mental health, physical, all these things come into play when it comes to the community. So we have children's services upstairs, and there's just so many components of the community that Mental Health America touches. And it's really hard to think of something that it doesn't touch, quite honestly.
Can you share a story or example that illustrates the positive impact your team has had on a client or the community?
There was an elderly gentleman who had stopped going to the doctors as much, and he had a various slew of medical and mental health diagnoses. And as mentioned before, when I said we go into these appointments, it kind of took me going into the primary care appointment, figuring out why they were still wrongfully prescribing him medications, and then communicating with his neurologist and his psychiatrist to make sure that that wasn't continuing on. I mean, he needed to get connected to a home health aide. He was wheelchair bound and using walkers, and with the streamlining of his medicines and getting a home health aide in there and getting him actually connected with the services that he needed, he does walks around the city now. I'm giving him bus passes. He does trips to local supermarkets on his own. And ultimately speaking, his life and his quality of life has rebounded to the point where I say he's going to outlive even me. There's plenty of stories like that. And he's just one illustration of how it's possible to have somebody come in, tackle your problems and your needs, and be on your shoulder with you through the process. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can make it out. Even if you're 80 years old, it's never too late.
What are you most excited about for the future of case management at MHA?
So I think right now there's a lot of uncertainty in our world going on. There's a lot of uncertainty for the population that we work with. And I think just making sure that they know that they still have that support and continuing to find them resources, thinking out of the box, getting them linked to whatever we can that'll help them is what we're most looking forward to. We want to make sure that people know that they do have somebody and that help is there so that they can get to the best version of themselves.
What message of hope would you like to share with the others watching this video?
I would say whether you're somebody who feels that they need to reach out and obtain case management, or you're somebody in the community who feels that they can offer something to the agency to be part of the solution, or if you're just somebody who's just hearing about us for the first time and you want to just become part of our vision, that would be, I think, what I would like to say is come join us and work hand in hand with us, and let's do this all together. I wanted to share about a young lady that came to us about a year ago. She was homeless. She was living in her car with her little dog. And she began with us just needing all the fundamentals, all the basics that somebody would need to even survive. She was in true survival mode. What she was doing was basically camping in her car every night, and she was in a substance abuse day program, but that was about it. When she came to us, we were able to link her with some temporary housing that turned out to last for about a year. And in that time, she just had the stability and the opportunity to take care of all the facets of her life. We were able to put her in our Beacon Wellness Pros program, and she really flourished there, and everybody was very inspired by her. She graduated from there, and she ended up getting a therapist and a prescriber who really figured out about how to manage her bipolar perfectly. And then from there, she was connected to subsidized housing with People USA. Now she's also conquered her alcohol problem. So she volunteers in the community daily with the Sober Club, and she has her own apartment now, she and her little dog. So she has come so far in the last year. And I was just talking to her today, and she was like on top of the world.